Hey folks, so I went to the Ancaster Nostalgia show here in Ancaster, Ontario. Um, well, not here because now we're back in the store in Dunnville, but I did go to the show in Ancaster. Um, didn't get a ton of stuff, and this is kind of one of the problems that we're sort of I've run into more and more. There seems to be a lot more shows going on, which is great, but a lot of times it's the same dealers at each of the shows. And when they're less than a month apart, the dealers don't have time to get a lot of new stuff. So for the most part, the stuff you've seen there, you've already seen it at the last show you went to. And while the promoter of the show is making money from the every show, um, it's not that great for probably for the dealers or probably for the people going to the shows. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents worth, which is worth just that 2 cents. Not even I wouldn't bother even listening to me. Um, but I did get some stuff and a sleeper that I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have a ton of knowledge about, which I should have because I do collect cards. But we'll start with the records, which were more personal than anything else. The just ones to add to my collection or upgrade. And but I was really pleased, actually. I was surprised, and the pricing was pretty good. So this Joy Division Peel Sessions record is in immaculate condition, a little bit of staining. It's a Canadian pressing on the thing. I don't mind that much about that. It's not even that bad as far as I'm concerned. I'll show you the label here. I've already cleaned it and put it in. It's on the Strange Fruit. It's the Canadian one. Kind of an essential record. Pretty much. I love all Peel Sessions, but yeah, the two Joy Division ones are they're it. Like they're everything. That was $15. That was it, which shocked me, honestly. The guy selling them had things. I'll show you another record that I got of him, which is probably the best one of the whole thing. This really great Canadian first pressing of Bowie's Low. Again, between Lodger and this, and they're sort of my two favorite Bowie records. And this is a Canadian first pressing. They did a second pressing in the was it the Best Buy series that would have a little Best Buy sticker. I've already got this, so it'll probably end up out in the store, but I couldn't turn away for, again, $15. Now this came from the guy who sold me the Joy Division one. It's a European first press from, I think it was 90, sometime in the 90s, like 91 or 92. Not gonna lie without having a look. I looked at it and it had no price on it, and I asked him, and he had a ton of like really rare stuff and priced appropriately, and he said just $5, and I'm like, what's wrong with it? He's like, I don't think it plays through. And so I looked, and it's got a few lighter scratches on it. There's the label on it. And let's see. See, the problem is 90% of the time, you can't see the scratches on here. There's the one there. Now, it looks big and bad, but I actually played it. I cleaned it, spin clean, nothing crazy. And I don't hear anything. I mean, there's a little bit of crackling here and there. I know people are losing their minds. Put it back in the bag, but it's safe where it is. It's fine. And that's, like the median on that is it's $100 record, as sadly most 90s pressings are. And I got it for $5. I mean, I was baffled and so pleased because this is like one that's been on my list forever. Obviously, I've got it on CD, but I always wanted an original copy, and bang, there you go. Another one that I've been chasing for a while was the guy who sold me the Low had this up there, and he had $25 on it, and he sold me the two of them for $30, so that's $15 a piece. For those who don't know, David Bowie was in, this was one of his things. I think it was 89 this came out. And again, I've already cleaned it, but there's the the label. It's a Canadian pressing. It's a Columbia House Canadian pressing, actually. Which, strangely enough, people sometimes pay more for the Columbia House pressings. I don't know why, but they just do. I'll bring these up just because I grabbed a couple the other day, but these are Value Village pressing. You see 250 on there. I just picked these up. Never even seen this before. Don't know what it's like, but I was like, yeah, 251. I just grab it. Brooklyn Bridge, kind of like psyche, sort of pop psych stuff, worth getting. It's 250. Art of Noise covers a bit, you know, dinged up, but still figured I'd get it for $2. And then this one is one of my favorites, Daz Band's Joystick. It's such a good record. There's so many like interesting synth sounds, funky synth sounds that was used on this. And the drumming is like, yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, you should track that down. In fact, I actually saw a video not too long ago where like Dave Grohl talked about how like he stole so many of his beats, and even on Smells Like Teen Spirit from the Daz Band. So like, I don't know, you know, I haven't gone and re-listened to them, but that was it. So that was it for records. I'll get to the sleeper now, because this was one. I have collected cards my whole life. My parents were card collectors. I went to shows with them since I was a tiny little lad. I'm now in my 50s. And we collected primarily pre-war, like mostly like late 19th century, 1880s through to the early Edwardian era, like 1910s type thing. You know, and I collected gum cards, you know, when I was a kid, like Star Wars cards, like everybody else at the time. But Panini stuff was generally considered largely not junk, but it didn't contain a lot of value. So what has happened in the collecting world, and I'm thinking about doing a video on this just separately, especially the non-sport card collecting world, is that a lot of the guys who were sports card collectors either got priced out of that market or got all the stuff they wanted and started moving into non-sports. And with that came grading, which is, you know, I could have a whole video just on the pros and cons of grading as far as I'm concerned. And the phenomenon of the rookie card. Previous to this, like that happening, honestly, in the last like 5-10 years, non-sport rookie cards were like, people, if you talked about it to old collectors, they'd be like, what are you talking about? But that has brought a lot of interest, and especially in terms of grading, into cards in the past that you wouldn't, I normally wouldn't have even bought. I would have bought these anyways, because there's some cool stuff in here, and being a record collector and into music. But this was an entire set of 100. It said $25 on it. And as you can see, I've taken some of them out and put them into top loaders, because some of the prices on these are crazy. Now, graded ones that grade high are going in the high hundreds. Like there's an MJ. There's a PSA 5 up for like $350 on eBay that sold in checking Terapeak. The artists in here are immaculate. I mean, they're all the kinds you want to see. There's like there's Alice Cooper, the Jacksons, Dylan. I think that's UFO with Michael Snicker in there. I can never say his name. Elton John, Zappa, Keith, Genesis. Now, they call this the Phil Collins rookie card, but they don't talk about Peter Gabriel being right there. And I don't think there's any earlier Peter Gabriel cards. So, yeah, these things people have started thinking. And the thing about it is it's not super well researched yet, because there are claims of rookie cards on there when I know I have cards that are earlier than that. It happens a lot. There's Sabbath, Bowie. The reason I'm shooting this video, I'll put it up next week. I know it's a weird time. Is because I scanned a bunch of these, like I think 5 or 6 of them, and just put them up on eBay. And this one sold overnight. This is the Freddie Mercury. I listed it at $87.50 US. It sold for 75. I took an offer at 75 bucks. So that's already done. There's Hendrix, Queen, Joplin, tons of Beatles. Who is that? Oh, Scorpions. Again, I don't think there's any other Scorpion cards. So is that a rookie card? Maybe. How do you find out? I don't know. I don't know the new ways of collecting. This is a big one too. This is a Zeppelin. It's not definitely the, I think there was a 74. These are from 1975, all these Panini cards. But I think there was one that was earlier than this, and that's considered the rookie. And that, again, a PSA 8 went for like over 1,000. I mean, it's crazy. These are 1975 cards, and they're stickers, so yes, harder to keep in good condition, but they're not rare. Like, literally, if you go over to Europe and the UK, that you can find these at garage sales still. I'm sure of it. There's Floyd. There's Queen, which I'm going to have to be listing that one soon. Bay City Rollers, Roxy, Stevie Wonder. Oh, sweet Stevie. Yes. Mark Bolan from T-Rex. I think that's Nectar. Yeah, I was right, Nectar. Rory Gallagher, great guitar player. Clapton, Deep Purple. Oh, sweet Tina. The Who. There's Daltrey, Neil Diamond, Elvis, Puffy Elvis. I don't like using the word fat, but Puffy Elvis, certainly. And then there's tons more here that I just haven't got around to, you know, carding out yet. Lots of Sweet, because probably in 75, that was at the peak of their careers. There's like 5 or 6 Sweet cards. And then there's like bands I've never heard of and probably are a European thing. Like, oh, there's the Osmonds. I'm just trying to find some now that would be in here. Like Schmechterling and Kran. Kran sounds like an awesome metal band, but let's flip it over and look. Nope. Definitely not an awesome metal band, but still, you never know. So yeah, 25 bucks for those. I already sold one for 75 US out of it. So that is the sleeper of the show. Was not expecting, honest to God, that at all. So yeah, that was kind of the big come out from the show. So I'm pretty happy with that. These, in terms of our personal, I collect and specialize, my parents have and myself have, in Canadian cards primarily. And these came off a good friend and a longtime dealer friend, dealt with my parents and he collects a lot of Hamilton stuff, and these came out. These are premiums, I guess you sent away for Vitone Eggo baking powder from the 1930s. This one is you saved up, I guess, from the packages, coupons maybe, sent them away, and then they sent you this puzzle. And this one is from the Empire Games in 1930, which was held in Hamilton, Ontario. I wonder what stadium that is. Huh. But that's it down there. There's a bunch of Canadian athletes and world record holders and things like that, which is kind of cool. And then on the back, that was actually part of the box with the label on there. So you can see that one's number 4. And then this one, again, is another Hamilton one. Same kind of thing. And this is, for those of you who know the area, Gage Park in Hamilton. Doesn't look quite like that anymore. I don't think, I haven't been in ages, but still pretty great image. And there's the other one, that's Park Scene, number 3. So now I'm going to have to track down the others. And he was super nice and let me have, for the pair, 100, which to me is a heck of a deal. They're going straight into the collection, the Canadian collection. So yeah, really pleased with that, because it's getting harder and harder to find stuff that when you've been collecting through 2 generations, it gets harder and harder to find things for your personal collection, especially for stuff, Canadian stuff, because there just wasn't a ton of it out there in the first place. So yeah, here's another interesting Canadian one. This is a Murad cigarettes box, but it's got the tobacconist sticker on there, which I have never seen one of those before. So that again is also going in there. And I think if I open this up, it has the price tag in there, 20 bucks. But I believe they gave it to me for quite a bit less. What is that? Oh, wow. How come I never saw that before? Well, they had 30 on there. Yeah, I think they gave it to me for 15 in the end. But it's, yeah, I'm really pleased with that one. Any of the era, this would have probably been 1910 era. There is the, that's an 1897 tax label, but I think this would have probably been around 1900, 1910s. But great, really great additional sticker on there. A few other things, got these for 20 bucks. They're shredded wheat Bugs Bunny cartoons. They were given away in packages of puffed wheat. These, I think, are the American ones. They were probably available in Canada too. 1940, no, you know what? Yeah, 1949 even right there. Copyright on them. There are 12 in there for 20 bucks. It's like, you know, what are you going to do? You can't go wrong at those prices. So, and speaking of can't go wrong with those prices, I had no idea what this is. I'm totally taking a flyer. I haven't done any research on it. It's Rocky Jones Space Ranger Interplanetary Space Money from 1954, according to what they said. There are 36 pieces with 35 bucks. So again, what's my rule about anything under $1 a piece? Just buy it. I mean, why not? Different denominations in there. I have no idea if this was a premium giveaway or something that came as a game. But I figure at $1 a piece, I'm going to take a risk and try and find out. It's not really a risk because it's only $1. Speaking of dollars, this game guy had a $1 box of paper, and I went through it and found this 55, 56 Canadian Amateur Hockey Association's rule books. Probably not worth a ton of money, but certainly more than $1. And just the information, I don't think there's a lot of pictures in there. I like my books with pictures, but none in that one, sadly. And then another good dealer friend who my parents dealt with and I am continuing to deal with, pulled me aside and was wanting to know if I was interested in this. It's not in the best of shape, but it's probably a 1920s. It is Jess Barnes, who was a pitcher. I'm not sure for who, but I'm going to say it's a strip card, blank backed, still early baseball. Put bit more research in that, but it was 10 bucks. Like early baseball for 10. These are the posters from out of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. For those of you who don't know, and it might be many, because if you've just gotten into record collecting, you're probably coming across copies of Dark Side that might not have these in them, because they did get separated. There were 2 stickers and 2 posters, and often they are missing. So yeah, this is, they were $5 for both of them. And that came from the guy who sold me the Panini stickers for 25 bucks. So yeah, this I don't know much about. I just thought it was cool. It was $20. It's, you know, I might have overpaid on that. I don't think so, but it's just the Watling Manufacturing Company. They did one-arm bandits, like slot machines and weight machines and things like that, probably from the I'm going to say 30s, maybe 40s. So somebody who has one of these Watlings probably looking for this or be interested in this. And then this probably just ended up getting for myself just because, you know, I kind of like Iron Maiden. Always have since I was a little kid. Still now I'm not a kid at all. I'm ancient. This is from 82 and it was only $5. Music Express. I don't know this magazine, Canada's Entertainment Tabloid, which just surprises me that I've never come across it before. So yeah, pretty happy with that. And then the last thing that I bought, and I can't go through and show you because Facebook just doesn't allow nudies, or maybe they do and I just don't know how to find them, but it was a tub full of Playboy magazines. It says 60 for all of them on there. The guy claimed there were like 70 in there. I didn't count because I knew there were enough, but I offered him $50 and he said sure, and I got to keep the tub, which I don't know if where you live, but tubs have gone up in price. Like, you know, they used to be like $8-9. Now they're like 15-20. So yeah, tub, good score on that. I don't make a huge amount of money off Playboys. There's a few that go for, you know, bigger bucks. And when I'm saying bigger bucks, I'm talking like in the 20-30 range. But for the most part, like those are celebrity covers. For the most part, I sell them in the store for around $10 or you know, less, sometimes more again. As gag gifts, people buy them for birthdays to give for people who they find their birthday year and month, and they give them as gag gifts. So they're a slow seller, but they're a regular seller, and I haven't bought a bunch in a while, so I just figure why not. So yeah, that was everything from the Ancaster Nostalgia Show. Definitely worth going, especially uh, you know, if I hadn't found those pop star cards. I'll show you the back of them too, because you can see they're actually, like most Panini, well, all Panini cards, made in Italy. These ones I think were marketed in Germany because the back is in German. But yeah, they definitely made the day. All the rest of the stuff's awesome too. Like that Massive Attack is, I don't find 90s pressings anymore, and I'm especially for music that I love. So great score. Yeah, if you have any comments, please feel free to just send them in there. I love interacting with everybody. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys all are able to find some cool stuff in the next couple of weeks. And you know what? By the time this comes out, it might be right around Christmas. So, hey, Merry Christmas. Bye.